Welcome, everybody, to Sordward and Shielbert Spectacular Podcast, Episode 2. And we got an exciting podcast here tonight. I'm joined by the head coach of the Detroit Steelix, Devin, the head coach of the Worcester Delibirds, Juan, and the head coach of the Paris Saint-Germignon, Will. Thanks for joining me, guys. Good to have you all here. So,
thanks for having us.
Yeah, anytime. Well, unlike weekends. Don't stop by my house uninvited. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
So, it's an exciting podcast because we're joined by the proclaimed team to fear, Detroit, and two new coaches to season 2 of the 5S. So that's two new coaches, season 2, episode 2. A lot of twos for those looking for patterns. The Illuminati exists. So yeah, I guess we'll hop right into it. And like I said, we're joined by Devin, the coach of the Detroit Steelix. And Devin, you were supposed to be on last week's podcast as the first runner-up finalist in season 1. You owned season 1, a 7-1 record, number 1 seed, cruised all the way to the finals. Just tell me how season 1 went for you in your own words. Let these new coaches know what to expect. Our viewers, let them know what to expect, etc.
So season 1, I missed about half the draft. So like you drafted half my team. Yeah, so week 1, I was looking at my team. I was like, what do I do with these? I remember
pick the best Pokemon for you, other than the few that you told me to pick.
Yeah, I was like, slot 1 Dracofish, slot 2 Mimikyu. After there, let's see what happens. And those were really the Pokemon that carried me through the weeks. Mimikyu was MVP, and I think there were multiple weeks where Mimikyu just swept.
Oh yeah.
So I don't particularly know if I really did that great last season or if Mimikyu just did that great in singles.
Yeah, it's true. If you don't have an answer for Mimikyu, if you don't have like a mold breaker or some sort of like priority attacker that can bust it up and take like a shadow sneak or something, you're not.
I think it was like week 5. We all made a joke that Mimikyu was John Wick because the only other Pokemon I used was Colossal. It went down and then Mimikyu just swept.
Colossal with the puppy.
But I'm excited to be back. I've put a little bit more thought into who I'm drafting for doubles. And honestly, before this league, I never really played a ton of Pokemon. I played through the story, but never like competitive VGC.
I think that's most of us.
Right, but I'm really enjoying it, and like I love the team building aspect of it. Like I don't know, like if you notice in the Discord, like Tom posts like how he changes every week. But like for me, it was like I made one Pokemon for each Pokemon, and like I stuck with it. Like I nicknamed it. I was like, "This is Vicious, my Dracofish. Whether he's the right build for this matchup or not, he's who's coming."
You can't build Dracovish too wrong.
Right.
But yeah, I get you.
But I'm a little nervous for doubles, but definitely excited for season 2.
Yeah, no, doubles is definitely going to be a whole different beast. I have no idea what to expect with season 2 of this league. I think, let's just say this, Devin. I think how last season you like owned the league every week, etc. I think this season, no one's gonna know what to expect every week. I'm gonna expect a lot of 4-4, 5-3 teams because a lot of fluky stuff can happen in doubles, and whether that's good or bad, we'll see. But I think it'll definitely be interesting.
I think for me, all good games need a good skill luck variance, which I feel like singles is very, very skill based. Other than the weird triple confusions or stuff like that, it's very skill based. Whereas doubles, sometimes you just get lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you got the double flinch on the rock slide just when you needed it, or
right, or you get the right read.
There's definitely skill involved, but I just think compared to singles, I think you can see a lot more luck sort of things happen.
Right.
especially, and we'll kind of get to this later, but some of the interesting Pokemon that people are going to have to use
Yes.
in their teams.
Considering like
not every team
C,
is gonna be allowed
B, and
to
T.
get Dragon
Yeah.
Ball. Yep. Awesome. Anything else you wanted to add about last season, Devin?
It was a great time, and I look forward to beating all of you again.
Yeah. One.
Yeah.
Except for
waiting
one,
the Battle
Devin.
Trophy Flash.
You missed one. You missed one game, the most important game. That's okay. You'll get me this season. All right. So, like I said, guys, we're joined here by two brand new coaches. So we're gonna talk with them for a little bit now. Juan, the head coach of the Worcester Delibirds. Juan, tell me about your name for one, Worcester Delibirds. I'm sure a lot of people watching this, for one, they might have heard Delibird and they're like, what the heck? But tell me also about Worcester and why that's so dear to your team.
Well, I just chose Worcester because, well, that's where I live. So everybody else is too.
It's not Worcester.
Yeah,
it's Worcester.
It's Worcester. Yeah, and I don't know if you remember or not, but like back in the day, we had a local hockey team called the Worcester Ice Cats. So I was like, well, let me look at some ice type Pokemon and see which one rolls off the tongue. And I don't know, for some reason, Delibird just did. I was like, well, I'm gonna just go with Worcester Delibirds.
There you go. Hey, Delibirds deliver. You don't know what's in that present.
Yeah, it could be a bunch of L's.
Bunch of L's. Handing out L's to everybody. So, Juan, what's kind of like your expectation going into this season? Because, like Devin said, and I'm sure you agree, none of us have really been like competitive Pokemon players. So this is probably like the most competitive you've ever gone with Pokemon battling, I assume, right?
Yeah, and so I'm looking at it like I'm a rookie coming in because I don't know about everybody else, but like I haven't really played Pokemon since the Ruby and Sapphire generation, and that was like 5 generations ago.
Yeah.
So a lot has changed. There were no fairy types last time I played.
No, I missed Gen 6, and I played last gen, and I was like, what the heck? They had another type.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I remember where Clefairy was a normal type. Now it's a fairy type. Like, but yeah, and other things too. And I'm used to fighting as singles, so doubles is gonna be a little different. Just a quick funny story about doubles. The first time I ever played doubles, I don't remember which Pokemon I was using, but one of them had Earthquake as a move. I used it. It KO'd the 2 other Pokemon, but it also KO'd my partner.
Yeah, KO'd your partner. Yep.
So, I thought that there was friendly fire. Friendly fire wasn't on, and well, yeah, it was on. So that was a hard learned lesson. You got to be careful in the moves you use.
Check your strength.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to see how I stack up to everyone, and hopefully by the end of the season, I'll be better than I started. That's my goal, is just to be better than how I started.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we got actually 7 total new teams because we dropped 1 team and added 7 new ones. So basically half the league almost hasn't played, in this style of format. Juan, how do you feel though about the draft format aspect? Like, it's not just like, oh, we're gonna play 8 weeks and just bring whatever team you want each week and match up. How do you have kind of like a strategy, or have you been looking at like some of the Pokemon in the draft sort of aspect, try to figure out what you're thinking there? You don't gotta give anything away because I know the draft's gonna be next week. Like bare bones, have you put any thought into that aspect?
Well, looking at it like fantasy football, because that's kind of how it was. How it is. So it's like, make sure you have a backup to your backup to your backup, because I believe I'm drafting 6, so it's going to be like 5 teams picking before me. So they might pick a Pokemon or 2, or maybe even 3 that I wanted. So it's always good just to have like a whole list
Oh
of
yeah,
who you want.
yeah, for sure. Have pivots, like this is my plan A, plan B, plan C, all the way to plan double A, B, C.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you on. And
Well, thanks for inviting me.
yeah. So Will, I totally butchered your team's name. Can you?
No, you did pretty well.
No, I butchered it. It's dead. It's in the water. Revive it. So, what is your team's name?
Paris Saint-Germignon.
Saint-Germignon.
Yeah, it's a joke off the Paris soccer team, which is Paris Saint-Germain. So instead of Paris Saint-Germain, it's Paris Saint-Germignon.
And what's the significance behind Germignon?
Oh, it's Chikorita in French.
That's in French.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Wow, I didn't know that. That is
Yeah.
cool.
Kind of
That is
works
so
out.
much more effort than I put in.
Like,
Can I rename my team?
I thought it was really funny.
No, it is good.
So
Very
I'm
clever.
glad that you name in
Yeah.
French for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it works out as a playoff of the professional soccer team. So very cool.
Yeah.
So, Will, kind of the same thing I asked Juan. What got you interested in the league? First off.
Well, I like Pokemon, as I think we all do.
I hate it.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought we were playing.
I missed
This is
Digimon.
the Digimon League, right?
Tamagotchi boys, let's break it out.
Ooh, Tamagotchi competitive.
That's right.
Oh, Beyblade, let's
Keep
go.
alive the longest.
I mean, I really like Pokemon, as we all do. I've played competitive somewhat, but never in a league like this. Never with a draft, never doubles. I've just put together teams and faced my friends. So being in a league like this, I think, is going to be more challenging and also a lot more fun. I don't know if you guys can hear me, yeah?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to having fun with this. The team building aspect, I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that's always fun, especially week to week, looking at how your team could match up against theirs, trying to find the trends in their pick.
Yeah.
So
Especially with the draft aspect, with the team building, like everyone has already said, having backups to your backups.
yeah.
Wait, aren't you pick one?
I am, but that also means
Right.
I'm pick 32.
Oh, that's the best because you're also pick 33.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
One is definitely the best.
yeah. I need to make sure I pick the Pokemon I really want for that first one, though.
Yeah, yeah. You
Can't have any regrets about it.
Awesome. So, do you have any expectations for this season, especially with the weight of the number one pick? Because you know who had the number one pick last season, Mr. 7-1 Team to Fear over there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and now
Oh,
he's got the number 2 pick. So if you don't pick something up,
Number
oh,
3.
see, that's right. Yeah, the yellow team was number 2. I stand corrected. But if you don't pick something good, he might take it.
Yeah. Well, I assume if I don't pick something good, it's going to be taken by the time it gets back to me anyway. Someone's going to take it. So, yeah, it's a lot of pressure to make sure I pick whatever I want with that first pick.
For sure, for sure.
But,
Shoot me a message. I'll tell you what not to pick.
all right.
No
Tell me what you're
collaboration.
picking, and I'll make sure not to pick it.
I'm
Or
picking
I'll make
number
sure
8,
to
so I don't
pick it.
have much say. I'm mushy middle. Awesome. Well, glad to have you, Will. Glad to
Yeah,
have you.
thanks for having me.
Paris, Saint-Germignon,
Yeah, you guys can just call me PSG if you
PSG,
want. If you want to make it French, PSG.
Los Chicaritos,
Yeah, or Spanish, that also works.
and those Chicaritos.
Yeah, you can call me that, but I might not respond because I don't know you're talking to me.
Don't worry. All right. So awesome. So we got a little mailbag segment here now. Quite a few questions for this week. Coming from the Discord, kind of break this down, talking about the draft. This is from Matt on Discord. What are the most viable B and C tier Pokemon in the draft, so bottom tier Pokemon. So I figure we can each, if you don't know exactly all the B or C tier Pokemon, you can just give one lower, like, unused Pokemon that you think might be something people should watch out for. I got a pretty long list, so I'll kind of like go last, but I'll let each of you kind of go around and name one or two that you think might be interesting. Maybe keep a couple in your back pocket to not talk about, but like, yeah, I don't care if someone takes this one, so I'll raise this up a bit. Juan, do you have any low tier Pokemon that you think might be interesting to draft?
I don't know. If you were just talking about, I'm not saying who you would get, but it's hard because I feel like if you have the right move set, even with a low tier Pokemon, you can do some damage. So I think any of them really. I know it's kind of a cop out. I know it's a cop out, but that's just the way I think. I think you just get the right move set, and especially if you pair them with
that's the key, right? Like,
yeah, pairing them with someone.
Yeah, pairing them because like, okay, Vileplume might not be like the best thing since sliced bread, but if you got a Sunsetter and then you can use Chlorophyll and you can get off like fast sleep powder, spread sludge waves or something, then sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then it makes them look like an S tier Pokemon instead of a D tier. So that's my opinion. Is any of them.
I'll let you say that you said Vileplume.
Yeah. Hey, I would
save this segment, Devin. Name a couple low tier Pokemon that you think might have a chance to make some waves.
So I gotta agree with Juan for the most part. Like I'm gonna give like name some Pokemon, but I gotta agree with Juan that the biggest aspect, especially by the time you get to B and C tier, is how the pieces of the puzzle fit with who you drafted early. Mm-hmm. Like last season, the two biggest low tier Pokemon on my team were without a doubt Umbreon and Colossal.
Mm-hmm.
Umbreon in singles like made it so I could safely switch into whatever I wanted, and I didn't have to fear. I just brought him in and he was a brick house. And like Colossal was probably my most common lead of the season. And he had a role. His job was set up rocks, set up spikes, and die. And
that's a smart strategy.
But because he was able to do that, after Mimikyu set up, he was able, to do those sweeps. Right after Dracofish had the rain from Lapras, he was able to sweep. And I think it is about that what role it fills. And two that I really have my eye on are Umbreon, like last season. I know he's not as strong in doubles, but I love there's 5 follow me Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the idea of at least having a strong bulky switch in. Mm-hmm. And kind of on the same premise, I also have all jokes aside, have my eyes on Steelix. Mm-hmm. Very solid physical defense, and then kind of same role as Colossal, sets up the rocks.
Awesome. Some good picks there. Will, how about you?
Yeah, team building is a major aspect.
Okay, stop with the cop-out. Give me 2 names and then I'll give you mine.
It's true.
I think we're in Zoom. We're supposed to say team building at least half a dozen times, or they charge us.
Shout out to Zoom.us, sponsor us now, Jake.
Yeah. So besides the team building and filling in the pieces, we still on? Yeah, okay. And filling in the pieces that are empty from the S and A and G Max tiers. There are some solid choices like Gengar, Charizard, classic heavy hitters. I know Salazzle was very useful for Josh last season and got a lot of kills. Gudra is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah,
very cute, very slimy.
Evan said both.
I only art draft.
You need to pick the cute Pokemon. If you're not winning with cute Pokemon, then like,
What's the point?
yeah, exactly.
All right, I can agree with Gudra for sure. For sure.
Yeah, very cute, right? I'm glad. you
Yeah.
agree.
Gu-
Yeah.
Gudra's
All right, Ryan,
cute.
who am I picking before you get to?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna drop some knowledge for y'all. Because I thought, obviously I saw this question, I was like, ooh, all right. So in doubles, there's some key elements that I think every team needs to have. Every good team. Because obviously with the limited number of Pokemon, not every team will have these. Number one is Intimidate, a key ability for doubles. And in the B and C tiers, there's actually quite a few Intimidators. You got Hitmontop, Scrafty, Torracat, Quillfish, Gyarados. You got those 5 Intimidators in the lower tiers. So I
Wait,
expect those-
Hitmontop has Intimidate?
Yep.
Yeah,
That thing's way
no,
too
that's-
cute to have Intimidate. Flavor-wise, I can't use it.
But he comes in spinning around, you're like, oh, what the? Like that thing, like you thought Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee looked funny, and this thing comes. You're like, this isn't. What is this? Intimidate.
Do the other two not have Intimidate?
No, they
No.
no.
Wow, that's
Hey Ryan,
rude.
I got one.
Oh,
I got a low tier Pokemon for you. Delibird.
Delibird. Come on, if you don't use your last pick to get Delibird, then
Wait, I think there's actually a video of Wolf Glick using Delibird.
yeah, but he's Dynamaxing it, so
Oh,
that's a little different.
I mean, honestly, if he wants to use his Gmax spot to Dynamax Delibird, I'm willing to look the other way.
Hey, that's
I
my
think that was
mascot
more
might
a
as well.
commentary on how busted Dynamaxing is than how busted Delibird is. Hashtag Game Freak, make a Gmax Delibird. Thank you. We need that.
We gotta get that trending on Twitter.
That's right. I'll work on it. So those are the key intimidators. I got a few more for you. Another key thing, well, not really a key thing, but speaking of Torracat, who I already mentioned, a fake out parting shot user. You also have a Alolan Alolan Persian gets fake out and parting shot as well. So I think that's and it is technician, which means its fake out does even more damage, so even more chip damage there. And then you can have taunt on that, foul play, so there's your whole set for Alolan Persian right there. I think that's another good low tier Pokemon. And then you definitely got some like just heavy hitters down there. Haxorus was very good for me in singles. If you can switch him in and maybe get either a boost or just knock something out, that's great. Put a sash on him, But yeah, no, I definitely think, like you guys said, team building will definitely be the key to what Pokemon you pick. But I think that there are definitely some that stand above the rest down there as a base power level, I should say. So going off of that, we now have some Facebook questions. And let's see, which one should we start with? All right, so we kind of already went over this one. Caitlin asked, how did Paris come up with its name? So Will, do you just want to mention that really quick?
Yeah, it's a play on words off of the Paris soccer team, Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, and if you are a follower of the Paris team on our Facebook page, you'll notice that the logo is a play on the soccer team professional logo as well, with Chikorita in the middle instead of the Eiffel Tower. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, this
It's
question
really fun.
is, oh yeah. This question is for both Juan and Will, so Juan, I'll let you answer it first.
Mhm.
Who in the league are you most nervous to face? We haven't even drafted the Pokemon yet, but which of us has the ability Intimidate?
I don't know,
Sure.
because I think you, Ian, and Zach are the only three I know
Yeah.
how they play Pokemon. And you came over that one time when we were playing Pokemon Stadium and wiped the floor with everyone. So
I couldn't win at the mini games though, damn it.
yeah.
Clefairy.
The mini games got you, but
I swear
I
I'm
would
so
say
bugged out that last one.
I would say I'm not nervous to face anyone because, you know, if you're going to win, you're going to win. If you lose, you're going to lose. But if I had to choose teams that I'm looking, you know, as a high tier team, obviously you, because I know how you play. And from what I'm hearing about Detroit Steelix, I mean, he was 7-1 last year, so might have to look out for him.
Right. Always watch out for Devin. All right, Will, how about you? Any team that when the schedule comes out next week, you hope is not on there for you?
Nope, none that I can think of. Not really.
All right, Will is going to play a 15-game schedule this season, guys. He will play against every team in the regular season. You heard it here first.
I just don't know enough about the teams to be afraid of them. I guess it's...
Say you're afraid of the Waco Sizzlers.
No, I'm not afraid of them.
Oh, called out. Called out.
Although they do have a really good logo.
Yeah.
Just want to throw that
By the
out
way,
there.
guys, follow us on Facebook. Check out our sick logos. We got a lot of coaches posting content on there, so check that out. All right, this one's for Devin. After having a amazing season 1, going 7-1, who do you see as your rival after that almost perfect season? Do you have a rival? This is also from Caitlin. All those were from Caitlin.
So going into the playoffs, there were 3 particular teams not that I didn't want to play, but I saw as they would be harder matches. Third would probably be the Denver Nine Tails. I played them week 1, and it seemed like after that they were on fire.
Oh yeah.
And I was kind of worried about playing them again, and then the other 2 would have to be my 2 losses. Second would probably be the Boston Braviaries, and most of that was regular season. If you watched like my drops and pickups, I was dropping and picking up because I thought you guys were the team to beat. I was particularly planning my team to play against your Corviknight.
Oh yeah, yeah, I could tell. You picked a Raichu, you picked a Arcanine.
And Raichu never saw play. And the one I would definitely see most as my rival would be the Montreal Melodics. And playing them in regular season, I didn't give them the credit and preparation they deserve.
That's okay.
And it showed in like the end results of they demolished me. I forgot about Moldbreaker at one point in our match. He took out Mimikyu, and I was like, okay, now what's my plan? And then in the playoffs, he kind of mentioned this last week. We went to time, and it was my Lapras against his G-Max Snorlax. And he was like, honestly, I was just gonna wait out your Aura Veil and then just knock out your Lapras. And in my mind, I was like, okay, but if your plan was to survive, that means you had to survive 3 Perish Song attempts. And so I was like, we were gonna call it in his favor, but I was like, you know what? This is playoffs, let's play it out. And I'll be honest, I only won that game because I got lucky with Umbreon. There was no reason other than straight luck. And we've been talking a lot in the off season about like our draft plans and you know, trying to push each other to be better players. And I'm really excited to see what he makes of his team and to hopefully play him in the playoffs.
Nice. Yeah, that'll definitely be a game to watch whenever you guys pair up, whether it's regular season or playoffs. So, yeah, Tom. I think Tom is kind of firing a shots at everybody this offseason. So I think a lot of people might see him as a rival, or at least, someone they really hope they can rub some dirt in his face. All right, so these questions also come from Facebook. These are from Chris. So these are for Juan and Will. Juan, what can we expect from your upcoming matches with other teams? So I assume from that he means like what's kind of like your general play style when you play? Do you have like a certain like way you like to make your teams?
Yeah, they're attack heavy.
Right, for offense.
It's I've always been more of offense than defense, but I think playing at all these teams, I'm probably gonna have to switch up that style. So we'll see what happens, because a lot of the people in this league seem to know what they're doing. So the style I've used before may not work for this league, so I might have to switch it up. So that's basically what I'm looking at the first couple of weeks, just to see how people play and then go from there.
Yeah, true. Will, how about you? What can we expect from your team?
Basically the opposite. I usually play more defensive than offensive, so a lot of my Pokemon might be defense heavy, but also I know I need to switch it up. I know all my Pokemon will be key.
Right.
Oh, that makes me scared that you got your eyes on my one pick.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll get to that a little later.
Does that mean your one pick is a cute one? Because
Mimikyu is my MVP. I mean, if you don't think Mimikyu is cute, you can see your
Mimikyu
way
is-
off the league.
No, I agree. Mimikyu's very cute.
Oh, dang. LA Kinglers, just so you know what Devin's trying to pick here as the sandwich pick. All right. So also for Juan and Will, as an expansion team, what is one thing you feel you can bring to the league? Juan, we'll start with you again.
I don't know.
Well, you're on this podcast for one, first new team to do that, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right there.
I guess I don't know, just want to be one of the most respected teams in the league.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Looking for that respect.
Yeah, I don't want people to look at their schedule and look at Worcester Delibirds like, that's an easy win.
You don't want to be the mighty side duck, right, Devin?
So yeah, I'm hoping that at some point, whether it's this season or next season, I hope to be an elite team. That's what I'm looking to bring to the league, is another top team to contend with.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Will, how about you? What do you, as an expansion team, what do you want to bring to the league here?
I think I can bring a new challenge. Like, kind of like Juan said, I don't want people to look at me and think, oh, that's an easy one. Because that'll hurt my feelings.
And bring all the cute Pokemon.
Yeah, like, when you're face to face with a Clefairy and a Clefable, like, you can't, no one's going to want to beat that up.
What happens if you
Well,
double follow
me?
me?
Which one do you attack? Guess I'll just attack my partner at that point.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only choice left.
Yep.
That's my strategy.
I feel like you're gonna pick Gmax Eevee as your Gmax pick with this draft strategy.
That is
Which
very
I don't
cute.
hate Eevee. It's just it's gender dependent, which can be a little difficult with its Gmax move. But very cool.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of the Gmax Pokemon aren't specifically cute, so that'll be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
It's hard to be
I mean,
cute when you
Alchemy's
have
a
a glowing
giant
red
cake.
tail. Sorry?
Alchemy is a giant cake. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. All right.
And then you get decorate and everything. Alchemy is a very solid pick. All right, so Devin, this question is also from Chris on Facebook. What strategies and lessons will you take from last year to help you take the title this season? So what are you looking to build upon?
So I think the biggest thing I want to do differently this season is So kind of like I mentioned earlier, like I built my team to play you week 5, and then I went on autopilot for 6, 7, 8 because I saw at that point, okay, I clinched playoffs, I clinched by week 1, and I coasted. And I don't want to do that this season. I want to go into every match like, you know, seed 1 hinges on it, or like playoff berth hinges on it. And I think that will better prepare me for playoffs. Like, I think if I'd gone into my match with Tom in regular season a little bit more intensive, I would have been more prepared to play him in the playoffs.
I got you. Yeah, so just kind of keep that pedal to the metal
Right.
sort of mentality. Yeah, and honestly, over the course of 8 weeks, that can be difficult to do week in and week out. But it's definitely something, you know, to try and strive to. I know I spend a lot of time, like kind of like, you know, breaking down like, oh, what team do I expect them to bring versus what I should bring, and then based on that, what should my like EV and spread and stuff. And
that's what I did every week prior, and I was like, okay, if I was them, like try to get in their head, which Pokemon would I be bringing? Like, okay, I'd bring this, and this, and most of the time I was within 1 or 2 Pokemon, and like I would plan out like, okay, if they bring this 6, and I'm bringing this 6. What is my line to victory? Like, what attack do I plan on knocking each one of these Pokemon out with? And like planning my switches accordingly, which is where Umbreon really came in clutch in the back half of the season, because like I had that game plan in my head from before I even saw their 6 of, okay, this is going to knock out this is going to knock out this, and having Umbreon made it so like I could make those safe switches of, okay, wear them out, confuse them, switch it. And like I definitely want to learn how to do that with doubles of, okay, I think they're bringing these 6. What line to victory do I have here? And I think 6v6 doubles is definitely going to have more of that, like that long-term thought process of, okay, which combinations am I afraid of, and like what are my answers to each of these combinations? Is it just play defensive and wear them down and kind of get that 3 switch off a feint, or is it, okay, this is my opportunity to go on the offensive?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. I think the whole 6v6 dynamic will definitely make the pre-game strategy very important.
Yes.
You have a timer. As you and I know, Devin, you have a timer. And
I'm shocked we didn't go to time at any point in our finals matches.
Yeah. One match was pretty close, I think, but
I think we had it like within like 2 minutes, but like we were down to like 2 Pokemon each.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, surprisingly with all that, but I think we were kind of prepared for that, so we didn't have to like really think about our decisions too much for the most part. I
was much more like mindful of your Gastrodon than I was in the first one, because like the first game I was just so worried about your Corviknight that you dropped Gastrodon. I'm like, oh, that's a wall. And like we went to time, like we were like, you had Gastrodon, I had Umbreon, and they were just staring at each other, and like we both refused to switch.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, in our game 1, I couldn't do anything against that Umbreon, and that's why I got Toxic onto my Gastrodon for the playoff. Yeah. I was like, I need to kill that dang wall and bring a toxic Pokemon.
Smart.
Yeah. All right, so awesome. That's our mailbag. We're going to be wrapping up the podcast here, guys. Thank you all again for joining me. But before we go, we got a key question from Sordward and Shielbert themselves. The very top. Will, with the #1 pick in next week's draft, can you give us the scoop? Who are you going to pick?
Nope.
What?
I cannot.
What?
Okay, wait. You just
Slander.
move that 1 slot over to me, and I'll tell you who I'm picking.
Slander.
Here you go.
All right, I think he just became 3 slot.
Oh, no, I'm not moving the slot. I'm just moving the question.
Wow. Come on, Will. The people are dying.
Sucks.
Wow. You
Wait,
heard people.
I can't
you
answer
don't
the
have to tell
question
us
because
who.
I'm not actually sure yet.
Okay, that's the
Yeah, at
question.
least give that answer. don't be a dick about it. Just be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll all have to tune in next week to find out how the draft shakes out. Next week, I'll be joined by Tom, the head coach of the Montreal Milotic, and we will be breaking down the entire draft, pick by
Nice.
pick. So, get your popcorn for that one. And we'll be revealing this season's schedule. So, very important podcast next week. Again, thank you to Juan, Devin, and Will for joining me. See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.